All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Average guy first. What's up, Pete? I guess I'll do a quick intro. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we discuss stocks to determine if they're worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. Thank you all so much for joining me. I've been loving streaming. It's been so much fun hanging out with everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. Looks like average guy has 74. I was making sure that wasn't a comma for 74,000. Yes, 74 shares or over 74 shares at $8.29. Not bad at all. Looks like Pete has 38 shares at $8.10. Waiting for the squeeze to buy 40 more shares. My calls are oh my gosh, I forgot about my call. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I don't know what happened. Wait, was my call for today? Okay, maybe I didn't have a call today. Oh my gosh, I don't know what the heck happened. Okay, watch your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to check and see what they did with my account. Oh my gosh, rookie mistake. No problem, no problem. Um, what's up, Pete? What's up, Pete? So I did have a question for you, Pete. So you said waiting for the squeeze to buy 40 more shares. So let me ask you what's your plan there? Are you planning on, you know, for it to go up a little bit and then you're going to start buying? Because I don't know, for me, like I'm trying to buy them, as low as possible, and this way, I just in more in the money the more I go. No, I was in the money. I think it was an $11 call, so I was like barely in the money. So I'm sure, but I think I'm not. I'm not sure what happened to them. I'm not sure if they were exercised or if the option was sold out. I don't think I had enough money in that account, so I wonder if they just sold my contract. I'm not sure. Oh crap. Well, that's what I get. I'm sure it's fine. Another $10 calls. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's awesome. So obviously there's always stuff happening. Today there wasn't anything really too crazy that really stood out to me. Let's take a look at. Let's start with the charts. Heck yeah, we'll start with the charts. We'll go ahead and start with. We'll start with Gamestop today. So taking a look at the 1 day. So I mean, kind of. I know it's a pretty big gap, up and down, but high of 295, low of 262. It did open at 275, so open at 275. I don't know how it was plus 173 on the day, or 1.73 on the day, but not really too sure about that one. So nothing too crazy, nothing that really is getting me really confused or going here. AMC, taking a look at the 1 day, so not too bad. we opened. What did we open at? Opened at $10.16. 11 at $11.16. Oh, before we jump to AMC, I guess we already did, but let's take a look at the options. So the options, this expired at 264. Oh my gosh, 264.50. They were so close to these extra call options over here at the $265 call strike price. So close there, but dang, that's okay. AMC did exactly what we wanted it to do. Obviously it would have been nice to get these extra shares or contracts, I suppose, expired in the money at $12. It didn't, obviously they didn't get there, but we were kind of far away to the point where it was like, that's okay. It would have been nice, but we did get these 22,000, almost 23,000 call options here. So that did expire in the money. So that's excellent. I guess I'm part of that list because I don't know what happened with my call option. I forgot about it. Whoops. That's all right. I'm just even more, now I'm even more part of the AMC gang. So, and this was the calm time. This was nothing too crazy. Next week, remember, that quadruple witching is going to be a lot of volatility. It's going to be a whole lot of volatility, and it's going to be crazy. Okay, so Pete is hoping for a dip before the moon, and it'll go way down, and then it'll spike. Okay, so that's what you're anticipating for. Just buy the dip, essentially. Okay. That makes sense. I see what you're saying. Let's see what else we got going on here. So, man, this is great. We expired pretty nicely. I'm very happy with where AMC expired. I was actually a little scared that we were going to have another, if you remember the big 801 thing where we wanted all the options contracts to expire above $8. So that we would get an additional, man, I can't remember how many, like, it was like another, 10 or 30,000 or something, 10 or 20, 30,000. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but we had a lot of call options expire in the money that day. But that was a battle at the very end. It looked like some kind of institutional investor. Actually, I saw a few posts of people thinking that it was like BlackRock or something. Because remember, I think BlackRock is an institutional owner, and, they're just, here's the deal. They want to make money. I'm sure, I don't know how much they actually care about the cause. I'm sure they care a little bit, but, they're trying to make money. And a lot of people, we can take a look at AMC. Actually, we do need to get into some of the, what was I going to say? Some of the AMC, the Fintel numbers. Some of this Fintel stuff, and now Fintel is basically being shunned. I mean, it's like people are absolutely hating it due to the numbers. I've seen a lot of posts today where they're talking about how they called, and somebody had linked it to me, about how they had called, what is that people, who did they call? A broker, some kind of big brokerage or whatever, or like one of the big, like, who do they call? I have to check. Well, someone called, someone like, what are these guys? Oh my gosh, I'm literally drawing a blank. Let me look up these AMC institutional ownership. Like Fidelity or somebody. They called one of those guys and they said, hey, what is the short interest at? And they actually said it was like 15. I've seen anything from 14 to like 19%. So indicating that these Fintel numbers are actually not correct, which is extremely interesting. For these numbers to not be right, that's kind of sketchy, or maybe very sketchy. So here, can I enlarge this? Nice. Okay. So this is something that makes me very excited. These institutional owners, they're buying as the stock is going down. I know it's hard to see. I wish I could toggle something, but as you can see down here, the blue line, as the, so the ownership is in the green. So this green, notice how as the stock price, is that those are the shares. Well, whatever this means, a lot of institutional owners bought it. I'm sorry, that was kind of a mess right there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hopped up on sugar right now. But let's take a look here at the institutional ownership, and there's a good amount. I mean, I don't see anything new, but from my understanding, they actually don't have to disclose whenever they purchase the shares. They just have to make sure they file and eventually disclose it. So I'm not sure what the time frame is on disclosing those shares. Excuse me, but should be pretty good. Let me get a sip of water really quick. Let's see. Lance is saying, thinking about buying some calls for April 1st or for 13 or more. That could be a good play. Especially, I feel like it's a good amount out, just in case we don't get as much price action next week as we may be anticipating. Those April 1st calls could come in clutch. I was looking at some charts. We can take a look at a few charts so we can just have a good understanding of what might happen during the quadruple witching for just the entire week. Remember, what we read is the entire week is a week of volatility. So that could be great. That could be, it could go either way. Now, whenever what we read, it said it doesn't necessarily mean gains, but it doesn't necessarily not mean gains. So I'm pretty optimistic on what it means, especially with all the options contracts. Let's pull Webull back up. Let's take a look at these options contracts. We'll start with Gamestop again. Looking at March 19th. So keep in mind, we add up all of these open right here. This column right here. So and these numbers are smaller, but I wonder if you add them all up, what they would equate to, because we have like 3,000 here, 1,000, another 1,000, 2,000. This is basically 4,000 here, and it just continues until we're here. So I'm not sure I haven't done the math or put it in like a spreadsheet or anything to see how many call options that is for GameStop, but for AMC. Excuse me, man, I don't know what's in my throat. For AMC, we know that it's a lot. I mean, we can just see it just because we can just get a wider view of all the contracts at one time. So taking a look at these contracts, I mean, this is this time. Well, first of all, this is already a lot of contracts, but these March 19th contracts. I'm sorry, I hope my whistle didn't mess you guys up. These March 19th contracts are crazy. Oops. No, we're not selling. We only buy. So look at this one in the money. 45,000 contracts. Remember, 45,000 times 100, because one contract is 100 shares. 45,000 times 100 is 4.5 million shares that need to be purchased. And that is just right here. So this is, let's say 4.5 million, 1.3 million, 1.2 million, 1.7 million. It just goes on and on. All of these in the money will need to be purchased. And granted, we're only right here at $11, and as long as it stays above $11, this is what we'll have for next week. Now, taking a look at, as we go further down, if we end at $15, look at this, 3.8 million shares on top of the 1.4, 1.4, and 1.5 million shares. I mean, it just keeps going. If we get to the $20 strike price, it could go here. And now, I don't want people to, something I'm kind of nervous about is if if AMC goes to $20 next week, that they're going to think that's the squeeze. That in my opinion, that wouldn't be the squeeze. If we're starting at $10, I mean, it really would be around at least like $60 to $100 like next week if it really does like start to squeeze. And that's just if you compare it to last time. Excuse me, taking a look at last time, we went from about, let me clear this so I'm not grabbing that again. We went from about, let's say $4 to $20, that's 5 times. So $50 plus really would be the squeeze. I mean, no, that wouldn't be the squeeze. That would be similar to what we had here. Now, last time what happened, remember, they restricted trading, which really messed everything up. Because that morning in pre-market, it was still going up. It was going to continue to go up, and we were going to have something similar to GameStop. Remember, GameStop, they just keep laddering up. And as long as we're not selling at, and forgive me, but as long as we're not selling at a measly $30, which is so greedy of me, and I apologize, as long as we're not selling at like $30, this will continue to run. It's going to keep on stacking. It's going to keep on going, okay? Because these guys need to cover. They need to cover. They don't have a choice. And remember, we determine the prices, okay? It's super important to remember that we determine the prices, okay? Let me catch up with some of this chat really quick. So, yeah, Yeah, AMC was pretty, everything was pretty flat today, pretty boring, but you know what? We had a good day. We were up 8.5%. during the day, and then an extra 1.61% at night. That's a good day. I mean, on any stock, that is a great day. And you know what? If we continue to do that, that adds up so quickly. So we just need to, I'm super happy with this. I'm sure everybody's happy with this. This is great. We just need to keep on with that momentum. So let's see what else we got going on in the chat. So Pete's saying, yeah, 19 to 20% for that short interest, but Fintel posted fake numbers. And that's the question. Is Fintel posting the fake numbers, or is the information that they're receiving incorrect? That is the question. I don't know I don't know the inner workings of Fintel and how people have to report to them, or if they report to someone else and then Fintel takes those numbers from some kind of a database or like an API or something. I don't know the intricacies of this, but either way, it seems to be pretty understood that the Fintel numbers are incorrect. Actually, I finally figured out how to use Fintel a little bit. I've been on here this whole time. Let me log in, and I can finally pull up these numbers properly. It just took a little bit. So what I can do is pretty neat. I can click here. Well, I guess this stuff is useless, but now I can see I just have all of these. So I can see the short interest. Now I can see AMC short interest. And so we're seeing this again. Take this. So before I even show anything, take this stuff with a grain of salt. Fintel's under a lot of scrutiny right now, okay? A whole lot of scrutiny, because it's believed that these numbers aren't correct. And now something to keep in mind is these short shares, we don't know if these are additional calls or additional shares that market makers are just essentially creating out of thin air and issuing. There's some speculation on that as well. These could just be fake shares that are just artificially inflating this, which is causing this short borrow fee rate to go down. There's some weird things happening. I'm actually thinking about calling calling somebody and seeing if they have an insight on. Well, I had a few questions I wanted to ask. I'm going to write these down so I don't forget them. I wanted to ask AMC and GME short interest. I also wanted to ask, and if anybody has any questions that they might want me to ask, and what is their title again? I always want to say financial advisor, but they're an investment advisor, which I'm sure, I don't know what the difference is, but it sounds pretty legit. So I wanted to ask them the short interest. I wanted to ask them, does everyone have the same short interest? So like, does every market maker, whoever's issuing these shares, do they all follow, for example, like if this is the right number, is this a standardized number across everywhere? Because nobody's answering that. Let's say if I don't know, if oh my gosh, I always forget Fidelity. If Fidelity is giving out shares, is their short borrow fee rate the same as somebody else's, or how does that work? So I'll just say market maker. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and ask that, and so we'll continue. So these are some numbers. So now what people are saying is that it's anywhere from 14 to like 19% essentially. I've seen all those numbers kind of thrown out there now, and it seems like they called I think it was Charles Schwab or something, somebody like that, and that's what they found. So very curious to find that out. I'm gonna go through the chat a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and continue. So, see, DJ for free, they said, I called Schwab and the interest was 3.5. So this is what they're saying. There's a bunch of different stuff. Let's see what else we have. Land's $50. Here's the deal. $50 for if AMC ran up to $50, that is great. I don't want us to be ungrateful. That's fantastic. Keep in mind, GameStop. People forget. It's so, and I don't blame anyone for forgetting. But GameStop, you have to remember whenever their stuff was all being discovered, let's look at it from the 1 year standpoint. You know, whenever this stuff was being discovered, I know this looks like it was gapped up a lot, but take a look here. This is and just so you can see the scale of this, because it's a big scale. This is $2.57 right here, and over here is $30. Like, and it looks like it barely moved. So I'm gonna remove this whole part. Okay, I'm gonna scoot this off the screen. And look how this gapped up, you know. So keep in mind, at one point they were where AMC was at $2.57, so $2, $2 or $3. They were here, and then they gapped up to 8, which is about where we up, you know, which is where we were, you know, a week or two ago. And now we're around 10 or 11. Look, like basically exactly where AMC's at, 11.16, and look, it was right here. Okay, and what happened? It went down a little bit. It laddered. So remember, stocks go up and down, up and down. And that's what happened. It went up, and then it retraced a little bit, and then it went up and it retraced a little bit, and it kept going. So here, look, $15, and they what did they do? They kept holding, you know, and sometimes it's a struggle. I mean, don't get me wrong. From here, so let's see when this gap up was, because that's a great question. So they started moving up. So this is 10/8. So October 8th, they had a huge run, man, a very big run, and then they kept going up until October 26th. Almost a whole, almost like half a month, a whole month, whatever you want to consider that. And then they dropped down a little bit, got a little bit scary, and this was on October 30th, and then they traded sideways until the 19th, and then they started going up little by little, and then they're at 15. You know what I mean? So just to be clear, like, you know, this happens, and then over the course of, so this is, let's say, September 1st to, we'll go around here, to January 13th, we'll say, around January 13th. So September, October, November, December, 4 months later, they finally reached $45. Okay, now, you know, and it just takes a while. So as long as you're holding diamond hands, you know, this is something that we could possibly achieve. I'll tell you what, and I mentioned this before, I could have bought GameStop at you know, $2 or $3, and I didn't, because I didn't like the way the previous chart looked, and I was like, there's no way. Sometimes to this day, I can't believe, whenever GameStop was trading at $50 recently, I was like, I can't believe it's trading there. It's like so high, and it's just because I've just been so used to seeing these small numbers, and I'm just not used to it. And then I see this, you know, $264 amount, and that's a lot. It's trading like very high, but you know what? There's a reason for that. Those hedge funds got greedy, and they were caught. They got caught, and they're gonna literally pay for it. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that's what happens. Sauce says, I think the majority of us will hold for the real squeeze. I mean, if GME did it, I'm sure AMC can too. Yeah, that's a great point. If GameStop did it, I mean, I really don't see why AMC couldn't. Now, granted, will it go this high? Maybe. But remember, there's a possibility that GameStop was more shorted than AMC. Just with the total float and stuff like that. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm fairly certain that you know, I believe there's a little more potential with GameStop, just because of the sheer volume and like basically the way all of that happened. But that's my understanding. I may be a little off there, but I don't think I'm too off. Hey, what's up, Vic? Okay, MMCT says, we'll be ready whenever we see $1,000. You know what? If I would love it, that'd be excellent. I'm by house, another house. I would be I don't know, $1,000, guys. I don't know what I would buy with that. That's retirement money for sure. That wouldn't be too bad. Maybe you found, okay, so 2 says, maybe I found evidence of someone manipulating the GameStop price today. And that, you know, that's an interesting, you know, I'd be curious to see what you have, but like, we have to keep in mind that we really don't know what's going on. For all we know, the stock is supposed to go up, and this was a short ladder attack, and they barely, you know, won out. And yeah, it dropped the price. I don't know if it started at 275, ended at 265. For all we know, there was combat in here, and the hedge funds. This could have skyrocketed to $500 today, for all we know, and the hedge funds were doing their best to keep it down. So we truly don't know what is going on behind the scenes. We don't know what they're trying to do. We don't. It's so hard to speculate. Especially now that our Fintel numbers we've kind of been skeptical about Fintel anyways, but now it's just kind of getting away from us. So it's really hard to know what's going on. And at the end of the day, I kind of don't even... It's so important to understand that SEC needs to look into it, but I just know, what I know? I'm holding. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to hold. I'm going to zen out. And one day, I strongly believe that it will pay out. And then hopefully it'll continue to pay out and continue going. Okay? And that's what I'm hoping. That it's going to continue to pay out. Yes, Pete. So that's a good point. Trey said that as well. He said, so Trey said more brokers are selling AMC, causing more short shares. Right. And so that's the hypothesis here as well. So again, if more brokers that are just selling these additional short shares, then that could be what's driving these up. And I don't want to say artificially lowering this number. Maybe that's a fake number. Who knows? But that could be a big factor. It's exactly what could be happening, and it's so hard to tell. These could be naked short shares essentially, and we would never know. That's why the AMC counting is so big, because that could be huge for AMC. Okay, that could be so big. That could be so big. Pete says, ask the investor how many naked shares are in AMC. Oh boy, I don't know if they would like that question. They would probably... You know what's funny? I have a theory that like all those brokers that I would say the bigger ones, like I say like Fidelity and Charles Schwab, all those guys. I'm sure they hate us so much because they're used to their traditional investors, the older guys or whatever, and then we come in and we're just like making a bunch of ruckus. We're just loud and we're whatever we are to them. I'm sure we're so annoying to them. And I just laugh because it's like, well, what are you going to do? We came to y'all. I'm sure they're happy to have us for the money reasons, but I always laugh at that. I think it's so funny. Too. I guess I'll just give you my email, man. If anyone, yeah, you can email it to me. That's fine. Right down here. So if you need my email, it's isitbychannel@gmail.com. So yeah, if anyone has a business opportunity or something like that, you can email that. But otherwise, please don't. You can tweet me or something. No need to to email me. But what's the interest on AMC? That's what Ghost said. Just looked at it. And again, I just want to be clear to just take this with a grain of salt. We really don't know what's going on with Fintel. A lot of people think that this is incorrect. Even there was somebody up here who had spoken with, Charles Schwab, and it was over 3%. So different numbers here. Now, granted, I don't know if they try to calculate this, if they're actually asking somebody, if somebody's reporting this number. There's a bunch of different ways that this number could be collected, I suppose. So we just need to be a little bit weary about what's going on. I did find a few posts. I don't know. This one's. I'll leave this one up. I didn't want to leave the short interest up because I don't want someone to come in here and be like, and just freak out whenever they see those Fintel numbers because Yeah, it seems pretty... I don't know. A lot of people just feel like it's wrong. Hey, thanks, Lokenzie. I appreciate the support so much. What stocks am I heavy in? So AMC is probably my biggest position. Well, it is my biggest position, hands down. So full disclosure there. Another disclosure: I'm not a financial advisor. Everybody, I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks. I definitely try to do my my homework though. But yeah, so that's one that I'm pretty heavy in. And maybe toward the end, we could probably get into a few stocks that I really like. But some of the stocks I like are no one's really talking about them. No one. Well, I guess which might be a good thing. But there's some stocks that I really freaking like. AMC short interest is at 15 to 19%. I mean, very well could be. I really want to see these numbers. You know, like I said, I think I'm gonna call somebody and see if they have any insight. And I would love to know, you know, if are other people calculating it differently? How is it calculated? And I'm gonna ask them, how do they feel about Fintel? Do they feel like Fintel is lame? I mean, I don't know if they're able to answer that stuff. You know. Who knows, but I guess it's worth a shot, huh? Let me actually add that to my questions list. So let's see. Bill says, what I worry about is what keeps them from doing what was done on Wednesday to keep the price from going. Okay, so I think you're talking about like Robinhood, how they kind of blocked trading or whatever, and they didn't let people buy. So I was talking with a buddy of mine about this, and he actually had an excellent point. He said, well, first of all, if you remember what happened, you know, they said they had a liquidity issue, and then that was kind of Vlad, the CEO of Robinhood, his stance on the whole thing, right? He said it on all the platforms and this and that. And then whenever he went to the hearing, the congressional hearing, he said, you know, it wasn't a liquidity issue. And then he kept giving a few different answers, and realistically, unfortunately for him, it just seems like he's just lying, which he very well might be. Remember, Citadel is over 50% of their revenue or profit, whatever it is. They're a huge, literally over half of their business. And you know, Citadel they're just clear conflicts of interest between the companies that are not good. I mean, I'm surprised that they're even allowed to work with each other. And also keep in mind that Robinhood sells Citadel all of our information. Now, granted, I don't know what information is actually being sent, but that's what they pay them for. So I'm sure they're sending them every single piece of information, including our trades and stuff like that. So that could be very, very real. Very real. Oh yeah, so to answer your question, man, see, I just get excited and just start talking about stuff. So to answer your question, what stops them from doing this again? There's too much bad press. They're trying to IPO. They allegedly solved that liquidity issue, and this will not happen again. There are too many things to happen, and so I don't think that they'll let that happen again. I don't. There's no way, especially if they're trying to IPO. First of all, their current IPO is not looking good. I mean, I lost a lot of money that day, you know. Granted, it was unrealized gains, but I anticipated that stock was going to continue to go up, and I was a bag holder, and I'm sure a lot of us were probably bag holders, and it doesn't feel good. But you know what? It's gonna be okay. I'm not too hurt about it. It kind of sucks because you know, that money. I guess the opportunity cost of if that money would have gone, you know, to 500 or whatever, and if I would have pulled out, then I could have started playing with that money now and reinvested and, you know, just kind of compound those gains. But, you know, it's okay. And, you know, I'm okay with not selling because I do anticipate AMC to be a $25, $30 stock without any squeeze, just like worst case scenario at the end of the year. That's what I would expect. And those are good gains. If anyone is, and I know a lot of people are sad about that, but you know what, those are good gains. Remember, if you're in the S&P 500 or anything like that, their gains, they expect, I don't know, 15 to 20% a year on a good year. So keep that in mind. If I'm anticipating, you know, if you got in at $5 to let's say $25, that's 500%. That's a good year, and you should be happy about that. So something to keep in mind. So Bill says the SEC has turned a blind eye to what the hedges are doing, but if retail investors talk on Reddit, it's price manipulation. This is a great point. There's been a lot of things on CNBC and all these other ones. There was one that I really loved. It was trending, I think, yesterday or something, and it was essentially a guy on CNBC. He asked the question to somebody, and he said, by definition, what the Wall Street bets people are doing is market manipulation. If people talk about a stock and they agree upon a stock and they all go buy that stock, it's market manipulation. And the guy was like, well, I don't know if that's true. He goes, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but if that's true, then what about investing clubs where they all like a stock and then they kind of say, oh, sure, we'll go ahead and invest in it. What about like hedge funds or whatever? Like it was so silly. This guy was so confused, and then he was just like, no, it's not the same. It's like, bro, like that's what you just said. It's exactly the same. If I go to lunch with a bunch of my buddies and I'm talking about AMC and I'm saying how good it is and what I think is going to happen, and they're like, yeah, let's all invest in it, and then like, that's not market manipulation. So it's a fine line. It's so hard to prove, and I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. Now, as far as the SEC looking into things, I think part of me thinks they are going to look into it for this DTCC rule, and a lot of people have this whole Wall Street culture that is especially, I mean, we saw it in Wolf of Wall Street. If you watch that, if you haven't watched it and you're of age, man, what a movie! That movie is just so good. But remember, you essentially take the money out of their pockets, and you put it in your own pocket, and that's kind of the stigma on Wall Street. And some people, well, a lot of people hate that because it just makes the rich richer, like everyone always says. That discrepancy. And remember, if before all this COVID stuff happened, I think it was, I can't remember the percentage, but it was a very, very small percent. I'll check my email in just a second. It was a very, very small percent of people that were actually in the stock market, because it was kind of I don't want to say rich person's thing, but you had to have that additional income, and then it goes into the whole thing of like poverty in America and how you're spreading it even further because people can't even afford to put money in the stock market. There's a bunch of stuff like that, but that's not for today. So I do think that I guess long story very long, I think the SEC is going to look into this for several reasons. Number one, it's kind of their job, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared that they don't know what's going on themselves, or maybe the way the hedge funds did it is hard to tell, or on the books, or who knows. There's so many questions, but hopefully we do get to the bottom of this. And I do anticipate that even if anybody saw the movie Wall Street with Shia LaBeouf, I don't think it's a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but a big company was going to fail, and they said, we need you to bail us out. And they kind of set an example. They set them as an example and said, no, we're not bailing you out. I'm wondering if the SEC will do something like that to Citadel or Melvin or whoever it would be, saying, look, like, you guys got sloppy and we're going to have to throw somebody under the bus, and then and maybe that's what'll happen. Maybe they're all, for all I know, they're all in the same, they're colluding together. Who knows? I really can't speculate. It's a whole, like, I'm already too deep into all these other conspiracy theories with the manipulation and stuff. But only time will tell. I think they're going to be forced to look into it. Whew, that was a long explanation. So let's see. Man, you're up over 35K on 8,500 AMC shares. That's for Troy. Man, that's nice. Different brokers charge different rates, and it constantly changes as new buy-ins occur. All right. I don't know who's talking about it, but the hedgies could be shorting the ETFs. Yes, so that's a good point. That's what a lot of people are talking about, that how the hedge funds, they could be shorting ETFs. Let's say an ETF has a majority of Gamestop or whatever it would be, then they could be theoretically shorting those ETFs, which would trickle into GameStop in some way. I really haven't looked too much into the logistics or how that would work, but yes, from my understanding, that's a very real possibility. I'm going to take a sip of water. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for for joining me. I appreciate all the support. You guys, man, this community is actually incredible. I appreciate everybody. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like, that really helps me with that YouTube algorithm and just getting everybody to see this stuff. We need people to understand what's going on. We need them to understand that there are games being played. We need people to understand that we're diamond handsing it. All right, we're just gonna hold. And that's it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I love covering this stuff. We're going to go through all your questions, talk about some stocks. We're going to have a great time. I'm trying to release a bunch of content, the latest content that people aren't really talking about. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to get into anything, but yeah, consider subscribing. Right, so I'm seeing people talking about the shorting and right. So theoretically, what happens is this is why that short sale rule kicks in, because whenever they short, you know, I essentially can drive the price of the share or the stock down, and so the short sale rule, they can only short on the upticks, which I guess theoretically would like kind of balance it out. But what a lot of people are counting on, there are two things that people are counting on. Number one, these options expiring in the money. As long as these options are expiring in the money, these are shares that need to be purchased. If they're not purchased, then they are okay. If they're not purchased, then it is a failure to deliver, and there are a few reasons that a failure to deliver could occur. But essentially, what happens is they'll need to purchase the shares. From my understanding, they have about 21 days at the very latest to deliver those shares. If they can't deliver their shares, I don't know what happens at that point, but. So that's one thing that we're hoping for, that these shares are all purchased and it drives traffic to the stocks. Okay, GameStop, AMC, anyone that is, and that would be considered kind of like a gamma squeeze, so that's where that comes in. Now, another thing that people are hoping for is that with this, like for example, the AMC count, you know how they're counting the shares. They're gonna hope that they're gonna find these additional. Let me fix my mic a little bit. They're gonna find these additional shares, and they're gonna say, "Oh my gosh! Like you don't even own these shares. These are naked shares. This is illegal. Like you need to pay us for these right now." And they're gonna be forced to cover. And this is what we're hoping for, because whenever they're forced to cover, they have to buy back the stock, basically, immediately, and we determine the price. And that price that we determine is based on what every single person is willing to sell at. Remember, in order for there to be a buy, there has to be a sell. In order for there to be a sell, there has to be a buy. Without both of those transactions, nothing happens. Okay? So it's super important, and that's why people are saying you have to hold. You can literally drive this price to $1,000 if you are holding, and if no one is selling. Now, granted, there's a bunch of people, and people are going to sell at all different prices. But if the majority of people are holding, if more people are holding than if more people are holding, then, so let's say there are a million shares, and there are, a million shares that need to be purchased, and let's say there are a million people, and over, every single million person decides to hold, then we're just going to keep going up until somebody says, you know what? I feel good at $500. I'm going to go ahead and sell. And then that goes through. But now they still have the 999,999 shares that need to be purchased. And then the next person goes. And the next person goes. And that's essentially what will happen. And it'll continue to go up. And that's why people are saying it's so important to hold, because that's what we're banking on. Especially with that new DTCC rule, if I don't think that's enacted just yet, but if that becomes enacted, they will have to cover within 1 hour of I think of it kind of like a margin call. They will have to cover, and it's going to get crazy. It looks like Tony, you don't think it's going to get to 1,000, my friend? Are you in GameStop? Let me go and check my email really quick. Oh no, I closed something. Okay, we're good. Two balls, what's up, buddy? Okay. One second, I'm looking at this thing that was just sent to me. gosh. Okay. Hold on, let me see what this is. What am I looking at here? Oh gosh, I forgot your name, buddy. Two. What am I looking at? While I wait for you to respond. So Huios says that gives Citadel an unfair advantage. I'm not sure what I said. I said a lot of things, but yeah, there's some tricky things going on, and this is what we talk about. You know, this is why a lot of people are upset, because whenever it comes to these things, like for example, this Robinhood stopping the trading, that was messed up. People got really mad about that because these guys didn't have the money. And what happens if we don't have the money? If we don't have the money, then they say, well, too bad. You owe the money anyways. Like, we're going to shut you down. We're going to liquidate your account. We're going to send you to collections. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Like, we have so many consequences. But whenever somebody else doesn't have the money, like these hedge funds or somebody big, they say, oh, no problem. Like, take your time. Oh, no problem. We'll bail you out. Oh, no problem. Like, everyone gets a pass except for the little guy. And that's why this is so upsetting for a lot of people, because it's not right. It's not cool. Like, what these guys are doing and how these guys are doing it, and how, you know, essentially it seems like they just get a free pass. It's not cool. Let's see what else is going on. Bill, I'm not talking about Robinhood. I'm talking about the 50% price drop. Okay, so you're talking about this 50% price drop on GameStop on Wednesday. I don't even remember what your question is, Bill. Right, you're 100%. This right here, and we talked about this yesterday, but I will gladly cover this again. It was, I guess, 2 days ago. This right here. Is this the right day? 278. No, this is the wrong day. It's one further back. This right here. $348.50 down to $172. You're telling me that this stock is going up on a nice little run, nice, easy, smooth, steady sailing, and then all of a sudden, at this time, for no reason at all, not a huge run up, run down. No. People just decided, I'm done, I'm good. And they just sold at one time? Absolutely not. This is not natural price movement in the least bit, not at all. I don't care what you say. Take a look here, AMC. This I really like this example. Let's see where I was. What date was this? Because I'm already confused on my dates. 310. This was 310, so let's at 310. Sorry guys, just bear with me one moment please while I get to here so I can make my quick point. Okay, so here, take a look here. Trading sideways on the day, up 1247, little dip down to here to 1109. Very normal in a day, or relatively normal in a day, sure. So going up and down, trading sideways, kind of a small little run up. But not even the high of the day or anything like that. You're telling me that all these people in AMC decided, I'm good, I'm out, and they dropped like this, and they just sold their shares? No, not at all. You're kidding me. There's no way you believe that these guys just like all sold at the exact same time, randomly, during lunch, and they said, during lunch, I think I'm just gonna get out. I have this tuna sandwich would go with some small gains. No, not at all. Not at all. And you can't. Unfortunately for you, I guess you can't convince me otherwise. There's no way you believe that people did this. Now, again, I want to warn everybody again. This is why people say be wary. With your stop losses. Let me paint one of my crazy scenarios for you. Let's say These hedge funds, remember, Robinhood sells the information to Citadel. Citadel, who knows what they do with the information. But if Citadel can see you have stop losses, let's say they could see, hey, there's a bunch of stop losses at $300. If we can just get the price at $300, it's gonna skyfall. It's gonna plummet all the way down, and then all these people just did the work for them essentially. You know what I mean? And they could have and they could have just kept on going. They said, from between 2 and 300, there's the majority of the things there, and that could be what happened. That could be what happened. They're getting you with your stop losses. You need to be careful with those stop losses. And I totally understand why you would have stop loss if it's at 350, at like 300 or 250 or something. I totally understand. But unfortunately, the information is just not safe. It's just all being, who knows where it's going, who knows where it's being sent to, who knows who has it, who knows how they're going to use it. And it's messed up. We are absolutely trading at a disadvantage. 100%, because we don't have all these fancy equipment, all these tools that these guys have. Remember, these high frequency trades, what they essentially do is they have from my understanding, 2 computers or whatever, and they kind of trade back and forth to each other using an algorithm, and it's just not right. It's insane. And remember, if you got sold out of your position, let's say at 225, it dipped to 172, and now guess what you have to buy back in on that day? It was around 265. So you would have lost all those gains, and depending on how many shares you had, that could have been terrible, catastrophic. So keep in mind, Jose, Witching Day coming next week. Yes. So we talked about the Witching Day. Witching Day is going to be so huge. It's going to be so cool. Now, granted, remember the quadruple witching. Let me pull up the article again really quick, because I just want to make sure I say it properly. I don't want to misspeak or anything. So I guess a quick definition. So the quadruple witching refers to a date on which derivatives of stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, and single stock futures expire simultaneously. Okay, so that's great. So we'll go down here. And so much of the action surrounding these futures and options on quadruple witching days are focused on offsetting, closing, or rolling out positions. A futures contract contains an agreement between the buyer and the seller in which the underlying security is to be delivered to the buyer at the contract price at expiration. So this is great. That's my favorite part. At expiration. So meaning, as soon as it expires, it has to just be delivered. That's my favorite part right there. Okay, so pros, and I just so happen to know that this one, a pro is increased trading activity at volume on witching days, which can lead to gains in the market. And I actually like this con too. Increased volatility can offer potential gains, but losses can be equally evident. So I don't know. To me, just reading that second part is kind of like there's gains, but it's like there's some losers. I'm bullish. I like the stock. Another thing. So taking a look here, Friday, March 15th, 2019 was the first quadruple witching day of 2019. So according to a Reuters report, trading volume on March 15th, 2019 on U.S. market exchanges was 10.8 billion shares. Compared to the 7 billion average over the past 20 trading days. Okay, so it's not just that Friday. It's supposed to be volatile the entire week. Okay, and for me, that volatility is going to continue. It's hard to say what's going to happen. Okay, but it's possible that it's going to continue to be more volatile. It could go up and down and skyrocket and plummet. Who knows? But we just need to be ready for the volatility. And know that at the end of the trading day, they need to be paid at expiration. That's my favorite part, and that's at least for these. It says futures and options. Futures and options, they all need to be paid. And remember, let's see how many options there were. Once again, March 19th. Look at these options. And remember, one option is 100 shares. So 45,000 times 100 is 4.5 million shares that need to be purchased. 4.5 million shares that need to be purchased. That's just for this one. So remember, we have 1.5 million shares. 900,000 or 1.5 million. Yeah. So 1.7 million, 1.2 million, 4.5 million, 1.3 million, and it just continues to go depending on how in the money we are. So there's some big numbers. Huge numbers. So Bill says hedges will just get the price to drop 50% whenever GME or AMC reach an undesirable price. No repercussions from that manipulation, so it seems. Bill, I don't know what to tell you, my friend. You're not wrong, is what I'll say. And this is why we need the SEC to really jump in. And here's the deal: Wall Street Bets, man. What a community. Like, and all these other ones too, don't get me wrong. I say Wall Street Bets, and under Wall Street Bets I would consider the GameStop subreddit, AMC stock, Wall Street Bets Elite, all those other ones that are in there. And I gotta give it to them. They're coming up with some solid DD. They're seeing a lot of things. Like, for example, I wish I would have saved it. What was it? It's in my other video, but it was the articles that were published. Guys, there was an article published. Where's my... Oh, I'm already in Webull. There was an article published right here. It was the 10th. There was an article literally published at 11:55 a.m. Right here. Wait. Let me do the 5-minute charts. My bad. 10... Let me back this out. Sorry. I know it looks kind of crazy. There was an article published saying that GameStop just plummeted that released at this time from Market Beat, I believe it was. It was released at this 11:55 a.m. saying that it plummeted. And I looked at the video and everything. I'm sorry. If you look at my video, I have I go through it because I found the article. They basically essentially removed that article, but it was still indexed on Google. And they published a different article with basically the same information. Why would they need to publish two articles for the same thing? The second one released, even the second one was released at 12:45. You know what happened at 12:45? That was down here at the very bottom, or it was 12:43, I think. And another person had an article come out at 12:42, I think it was 12:42. So you're telling me, remember, they probably would not have written the article until right here. Until this candle right here. Okay, this is 12:30 at the earliest. They wouldn't have written it for right here. Maybe this is going to skyrocket. Who knows what this could have been. So, and in 11 minutes, because it was 12:41 that it was released. So you're telling me in 11 minutes, they anticipated this was going to drop or whatever. Let's say they saw it drop and they were ready for it. You're telling me that they wrote the article, had it edited, published, approved, published to the website. In 11 minutes, they had that one article. Unlikely. Very unlikely that would have happened that quickly. You know, maybe 30 minutes later, maybe an hour later, but for it to be published instantly like that during lunchtime, doubt. I doubt. Okay. Troy, even if AMC, doesn't really squeeze, it'll be $40 to $50 by the end of the year. Still a bargain either way. I 1000% agree that's why I'm so bullish on AMC. In my eyes, remember, they were closed. They were going to go bankrupt. Now they're open. Economy's open. Vaccines out. It's great. People want to go to the movies. A lot of people are invested in AMC. Remember, we have a lot of Wall Street Bets people who are going to go to specifically AMCs. They're going to go out of their way to go to the AMC because they're invested in the AMC. There's a lot of good stuff. And now remember, AMC has been on the news all this time, and you have to keep in mind it's essentially free marketing for the company because, and the more you see a brand, it's kind of like, you ever heard a song and the first time you heard the song, you don't really care about it. You're like, whatever. And then a week or two later, the radio plays it over and over again. And you're like, it's not so bad. It's because it's been forced on you and you're like, it kind of just grew on you, even though you don't really care about the song. You probably still don't even really care about it, but you're like, it's kind of, you just know the words. So it's catchy to you. So it's something to think of like that. Troy, yeah, I know. I haven't seen Trades until actually he released, I believe, 2 videos this morning. But he was going to a cardiologist appointment, so I hope the best for him, man. I'm worried he's going to get I forgot what the proper term is, but basically medically, kicked out of the military, which would suck for him, man. I know if you watch his videos or know anything about him, he really takes a lot of pride in what he does, following in his father's footsteps and all this stuff. So I wish the best for him, man. I'm really worried for him, but I hopefully he's good, man. Let me see. Heard Melvin moving. Yes, so I heard about this too, Cayenne. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Heard Melvin moving 401ks on the 18th of March to prepare for a possible bankruptcy. This is major speculation. Absolutely. So I really debated about showing that on stream. I did see, let me see if I can find it. I had the article pulled up. I was going to pull it up on my computer, but I was like, I just don't know. And there was some, actually, I'm not going to pull it up because this is some major, it could be a lot of misinformation. In the comments, I saw there was somebody who said it's fake. They had 80 upvotes, and they already had like a link to another post saying it's why it's fake and and that they do this every so often. So while I'm sure we all want to believe it, I don't know. They did file a lot of paperwork, legal paperwork for that. So I'm really not sure what their move is. I don't really want to publish it as factual information or anything, but if anybody wants to research it, feel free. For all, it could be true, but it seemed a little weird for me. But they're losing a lot of money, so part of me wonders if they would go bankrupt or what the play would be there. You would figure they would cut ties at some point and eat their losses and just move on, But I think, and that's why I think the quadruple witching is going to force them to. But again, for all we know, it could trade sideways all week, and that's all we get. Matt says, do you think AMC will squeeze? And if so, how high do you think? Hard to say. On the low end of a squeeze, I would, on the low end, if it like for a squeeze, I would say at the minimum of $50. And granted, that'd be a starter. And then as long as people would continue to hold, I really think that we could see possible AMC or GameStop numbers. Yeah, I really do think we could if people continue to hold, which who knows. I was gonna check something here. I heard Melvin, and you know why I think AMC is gonna squeeze? Let me show you this. For no other reason than what happened, especially with this GameStop one. So for them to do this, and to both the stocks, is just kind of tells me, for me, it's almost like a pulse check. It says, hey, it says, it's like them saying, all right, we're pushing the stock, and it's like, and then they're like, and then it doesn't really move because everyone's just holding. They're like, whatever, I'm buying the dip, and then, and then they back off. It was just a prank, bro. And that's what they're doing, essentially, in my eyes. Like, here, they try to push it, and they got it. They pushed it pretty well, Good for them, I guess. But you know what? It bounced right. It bounced, not all the way back, but it bounced back very, very well. So, this right here, if they weren't trying to do this, then, for me, I'd be like, oh, it's kind of weird. But since they're trying so hard to possibly manipulate the price, for me, it's like, all right, we're still in it. Like, everything's still great. Those false news articles, all this stuff. It's like, okay, you know what? There's something there. I may not fully understand it perfectly, but they're just letting me know, hey, we're still on. We're still on for the squeeze. Thanks, buddy. I say thanks, guys. Thanks. Troy, no one knows the interest they are using. Is disinformation, so does it really matter? Just hold. Right, that's a great point. And honestly, Troy, that's kind of my mentality. I'm not, and I don't care to look at the short interest every day. I don't care to look at the short shares available every day. I don't care to look at everything every day. You know what I mean? I am monitoring the stock, just for, make sure I'm keeping up with you guys, make sure I see what's going on during the day. But I'm kind of desensitized to it all. They can do this all they want. Sure, drive the price down. If it goes to $5, I will 1,000% find a way to buy in a lot, 100%. And that's what I'll do. So I don't care what they do. I'm just going to hold, because I know at the very, very least, at the end of the year, I'm going to get $25, $30 at the minimum. And that's what I anticipate. Oh, gosh. I got lost. Oh, man. Everything's going too fast. One sec, guys. I'm sorry. Alejandro. What's going on, Alejandro? Let's see. Also, I just joined the stream. Haven't really heard you if you have some sort of analysis. Alejandro, I'm not sure what kind of analysis you're looking for, my friend. If you want something, I'd be more than happy, man. Just ask. I'd be happy to give you any kind of analysis. What do you want to see, my friend? I saw a guy on Twitter that now believes it's possible for AMC to go to 2K. Here's the deal. People are going to say all these numbers. They're going to say a bunch of numbers. GameStop, they say 10,000, 15,000, whatever it's going to be. Everyone is super hyped up. As long as we can continue to hold, I mean, it's possible. I mean, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that GameStop, which was a $2 stock like over like a year ago, it would have been trading at $256 today or $264 today? I didn't, and look at me. So I mean, I have no problem admitting. Look, Roaring Kitty saw something that no one did. He talked about it since 2019, and he kept betting on it, and he was losing money, kept losing money. And then you know what? He was right. He saw it, and he was like, "Am I crazy?" And no, he was not crazy. He felt crazy. I'm sure he was alone. I'm sure people called him crazy. People were saying like AG and Tony over here saying, "Oh, it's never gonna happen. It's never good. This and that," and they were wrong. So anything is possible. You're right, CT. Webull is better than Robinhood. Sure. Webull's pretty great. I love Webull. Webull has a lot of functionality. If you guys are interested in Webull, I have a link in the description. If you sign up using my link, you get 2 free shares. I get a free share. But if you don't feel like using it, that's fine. I'm switching off of Robinhood just out of principle of what happened. Wasn't cool, guys. It was not cool, whatever happened. And if Robinhood was completely innocent, then the CEO did not do a good job of being transparent, communicating in what was happening, and he unfortunately just came off like a liar. So I'm out. And what sucks, because I love the Robinhood platform, so easy, so like user friendly, so pretty. I do really love Webull. Still getting used to it a little bit, but it's excellent. I'm gonna look for. Okay, I got your email too. I need an explanation. I need an explanation. Okay, I'm gonna look for this explanation. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Welcome everybody. If you're new here, welcome. Please consider dropping a like on the video. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Consider subscribing. I'm trying to cover this stuff as much as possible. I like covering it. It's important. It's important stuff. It's important to be aware. It's important to know, be knowledgeable about what's going on. Alejandro, I think I might have already answered your question, my friend. Do you think? Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, so I just checked my portfolio and noticed AMC went parabolic towards the end of. Let's see. Do you think we'll see a massive jump Monday? It's hard to say, my friend. It's really hard to say what's going to happen with AMC. like, and both the stock. I mean, anybody who tells you, oh, it's gonna skyrocket on Monday, is not telling the truth. You know, it's so hard to tell. Remember, like we saw with the quadruple witching definition, a lot of volatility, a whole lot of volatility. This stock, it's gonna be a madhouse, and they have to cover by the end of the day on Friday. So I'm just gonna hold until Friday. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to monitor the market. But my current plan is to hold at the very, very, very least until Friday. That is my plan. Tony got a $14 call for Friday. I think that's, I don't see why that wouldn't be bad. I think it could be great. Did you hear the call on your I don't have a Discord with the institutional investor from Canada, who said this has 85 to 95% of squeezing, and this could cause a recession. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so. Uncle Bruce was actually, I think he was talking about this today, and he said, in the scheme of things, it's not going to crash the market. It's not going to break anything. It's not going to do anything crazy. The only people that are going to care about it are maybe the SEC, just to like make sure everything's legit. The people who are shorting the stock, and everyone who's holding the stock. Those are the only three people. In the scheme of the market, it is these GameStop and AMC are nothing. They're nothing. It's chump change, and no one really cares about it, except for the people who are directly involved in it. And those were his thoughts. I agree with him. He was a trader for a very, very, very long time, and he knows his stuff. If you guys listen to him talk for 5 minutes, I mean, you'd be like, dang, not bad. Yeah, so CB says, I thought it was the hedge funds. So dumping short attack, stop losses, I'm confused. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and that's why I try to cover this stuff as much as possible. If you have a more specific question of how I can break this down for you, I'd love to. I'll do my best to kind of talk about what's going on. And so the hedge funds, remember, they're essentially what they're doing is, theoretically, they're trying to drive down the price of the stock. They're trying to get people to sell out of their positions. They're just trying to get everyone out of everything, okay? They want this price action to stop. They want the stock to go back down to a few dollars, which unfortunately for them will never happen. And they want to cover at a much lower price, or they want to short the stock to zero. These guys got greedy, which is why they're in so much trouble right now. I talked about this yesterday, but what I said was the stock was at around, let's say $2 or $3. Let's say it was $3. And they were shorting the stock from, I think it was like $30 or $20 or something like that. And so remember, whenever you're shorting a stock, you can only make from whatever the stock is at to zero. So if it was at $30, you can only make $30 to zero per share. And I say only, but that's a lot of money. Now, if it's at $2, you can only make $2 to zero, so $2 profit per share. And that's where they got greedy. Not only were they trying to get those last little dollars to make this company go bankrupt, essentially, they were trading with more shares. They were short more shares than were actually available to cover. And another thing to keep in mind, remember, so we talk about calls and puts, right? Now, a short is very crazy, because a short, you have unlimited. So remember, a call, or let's say a put. Remember, puts are if the stock, you anticipate the stock is going to go down, you put a put on it, and then you make the money going down or whatever. So as far as a short goes, it's the same thing. And in a put, you can only lose, let's say you put $1,000 in, you can only lose that $1,000 if it goes up, right? If it goes up to, it doesn't matter what it goes up to, you can only lose the amount of money that you put in. A short, you can lose unlimited amount of money. So that is what's so bad for these guys. For these hedge funds that are short on this stock, they could have only made $2, and now look what their stock's at, $2.64. These guys have any money that they made shorting GameStop almost to bankruptcy has been lost, and they're going to lose a lot more than that. Okay, super important. And so the stop losses. So remember, whether they're doing the high frequency attacks or whatever, trading the stock, artificially driving the price down, it can trigger a lot of stop losses. So remember, if your stop loss is, over here, 300, 350, whatever it was, or I guess not 350, but 300, 320, whatever it was at, if they got your And my theory is they could possibly see it given the Robinhood information. So if it triggers down here and it continues to drop, then they're gonna see it. They can possibly see what the stock is, and they can sell. They'll if they can get the stock down there, it'll plummet because they're seeing where your guys' stop losses are. That's why people say take up the stop losses, set a sell limit for $1,000 to help. Okay, if you have 1,000 GME stocks, but I don't want to sell. If you have 1,000 GME stocks, but I don't want to sell, but I want to place an order to sell, what method do you use? It should be a limit sell. It should be a limit sell that you set, and you can sell your limit at $1,000 or whatever you anticipate the price to go up to, or whatever you're trying to get the squeeze at. Set your price at, so even if it's 264, you should be able to set it at 1,000 and do it that way. Right. So CT says day traders play a role also. Right. Day traders could be scalping this. If I was a day trader, you best believe I would have grabbed it down here and I would have probably sold around here. That's a quick gain. If I would have grabbed it, let's say 200, it dropped to 172, but let's say I got it at 200 and I went to, let's just say 250. Let's lowball at 250. Then I'm sitting pretty. That's $50 gain per share that I purchased. Depending on the day trader, they could have gotten, who knows, 100 shares or 10 shares, 50 shares, whatever it would have been. That would have been nice. Hey, what's up, James? Did you notice AMC went up 16 cents in the last 5 minutes of after hours? I didn't notice that actually. Yes. Oh, no, this is the wrong company. Oh, yeah. Man, I mean, here's the deal. I love it. 11:34 and after hours. So, hey, I love it. This stock has been going nice, guys. Let's look at the 5-day chart. Not too bad. I mean, I had a little bit of a run, a little bit of drop, but you know what? We're in an upward trend. We started at 890, ended at 1134. I'll take it. There's some good gains. Not too bad. Free and loving it. All right, I'm just finding the next comment. Just bear with me for a second. Man, it's getting hard to keep up with you guys. You guys are too fast for me. Any apes in here? That's what Clean says. We got a few apes in here. I know the trades community, man. That's the best. We have a good time in here too. So the order, any apes in here? GME looks like it ran out of hype. Maybe trends down from here. Here's the deal. GME, I know it looks like it ran out of hype, but I think it's just this may just be consolidation. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on. Could just be consolidation, and next week, it could moon. No one really knows. No one knows what's going on. And remember, they have those outstanding shares. I believe there's more shares trading than is in the actual float. Remember, the actual float, what the float is by definition, is the total amount of shares that are available to trade. James says, Amazon going to buy AMC and give all investors lifetime prime for their shares. Man, I would love for here's the deal. Any acquisition would be insane. Any kind of partnership acquisition, I think that would be huge. And there was, I just remember there was a theory. Somebody allegedly heard the CEO of AMC about to board a plane or something like that. And they heard them say that on next Friday or something, they're going to announce that and I don't know if this is true, so this is a big game of telephone for all I know, but she posted it on Twitter, and she said that they heard the AMC CEO saying that they were going to open all California or something like that, movie theaters on Friday. And if that's true, then that could be a huge news catalyst for Friday to really drive that price up. Man, I'm getting thirsty. I'm losing steam. Dang, we're almost at that 50 likes, guys. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, give me to 50 likes. That'd be huge. Also, please consider subscribing. I'm almost at 1,800 subscribers. That'd be so insane. Man, we're getting so close. Play the video as sent. Look and ask. 2 balls. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna watch this video from 2. He says, on the screen, Webull. Look at the last selling GME ask price at the end of the day. Someone is selling 18. Oh, okay, okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Do I still have this pulled up right here? End of the day, 18. Let's see. Oh, snap. Let's pull this into the screen here. At the end of the day. Ah, crap. I ruined it. Shouldn't it be here somewhere? At $800. Last screen of the day. I mean, this is just where it ends. I don't see the 800. The 800. I don't know. Do I have it in my Webull? Oh, right here. I see it right here. Okay. So yeah. Man. So what the heck? Wait. Why would someone ask to buy the shares here? This is crazy. This is so weird. I don't understand why they would say this. Or they're trying to sell. Oh, they're trying to sell. Okay. My bad. I'm silly. I got confused. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. I am actually confused. So yeah, let's take a look at all right. Let's take a look at a few things. I'm loving reading the chat, but it's getting crazy in here. So I was taking a look at the GameStop subreddit, and I just wanted to go cover a few points. So here it says reminders: shorts have not covered. They're lying in their Fintel and iBarrow reports, which is unfortunate because I found iBarrow, and I thought, hey, here's a great resource that isn't Fintel. This could be another resource to like kind of cross-reference so that I make sure that the information is accurate. And look at what happens. Like, not good. So despite new market regulations and congressional acts to minimize fraud, it is widely and easily practiced today. Yeah, the fraud, I mean, guys, I don't know what to say. And this is why it's so hard to listen to these news sources. Unfortunately, CNBC, even Market Watch, all these guys are just being, I don't want to say discredited because they're not technically like discredited, but their credibility is going down the drain with Reddit and Wall Street Bets and all this stuff. And we sound like a bunch of conspiracy theorists for people who don't know. Like, I talked to my fiance about this stuff, and she says, like, and she just kind of smiles and nods. But you know what? I know how crazy I sound whenever I bring these topics up. These topics are hard to talk about because, number one, a lot of them are confusing. Number two, it sounds like I'm telling her the news is wrong. I sound like I'm crazy. So it's so hard to talk about this stuff with these people, and or with any people. And I like this one. I think they misspelled Citadel. No, I'm just playing. So Citadel is effed. So far, Citadel and Melvin lost $6 billion with a B, shorting GameStop in January alone. That's huge, guys. This is a lot of money to be lost. This is a lot of money to be lost. Okay, that's huge. And I wonder, with their shorting, I wonder if this is for their own personal gain or if they have clients who they're like, oh yeah, we'll just make you a bunch of money, like, and not tell you what we're doing. Now, granted, I don't know if that's what they do. I haven't looked into what they do specifically too closely, but from my understanding, I'm sure they manage people's accounts. And if they were shorting them and now they're like out all this money, not only are they out the money, they have to like kind of, well, I guess they don't have to pay back their customers or something because the customer knew the risk. But anyways, this is a mess for them. It's an absolute mess. Be patient. It's not every day that you can take take down a hedgie for 100,000% gains. And this sounds funny, but you know what? Their gains, I don't know, from $2 to let's say 300. is that a, well, I don't know the percentages, but insane amount of games. I think it's 150%, 150,000%. I don't know. I can't really do that math right now. I don't know. I guess I'm tired. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I think I'm a little off today. You will never be you will be rewarded for holding. So, and take this with a grain of salt. This is obviously a Reddit article. I just kind of had this pulled up, just kind of taking a look at a few articles before I hopped on, since I didn't really have anything too crazy. Let's go through a few of these. Let's look at a few stocks, and let's have a good time, guys. It's Friday night, feeling good, and we'll get this knocked out. Okay, another thing, we have to be super careful, guys. If you guys are on Wall Street Bets or any kind of subreddit or even on online, remember Trey's Trades. He said there were several people imitating his account. They're pretending to be him, and they're saying bad things about the stock. They're saying AMC's dead cat. That was on Webull. There was a Twitter account. I don't know what the Twitter account was saying. For all I know, it could have been good things, but I'm sure. But it definitely is not him. And you just be super. It looks like him. Obviously it's easy to take his logo or whatever and all that stuff, but and even the name is just so close. He's Trades Trey, and that was Trade Trays or something. It was so close. So just be super careful with that. And just people, just trying to just spread misinformation. Come in here and just say wrong stuff. It's like, it's not right. Is this Trey? Oh no. Thank you for the follow, Bobby Chow. Let's see, pre-written articles. So here's more articles. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like right in line with this. And this actually, again, I'm trying to be a little unbiased with everything that's going on. I'm trying to just explain what I'm seeing, just kind of present it to you all and let you kind of come to the conclusions. But this could be an explanation of why we saw those articles released so quickly. Granted, it was still very, very, very weird, but this one, I guess this was released 9 hours ago for Friday. Forget GameStop. This post for Friday. Oh, okay. I guess this is a note for themselves to say like, oh, releases on Friday, something like that. I don't know, but it's just crazy. We looked at the institutional ownership. Did we? How it's been growing. So this is one of the charts that I actually really like, because you can see, how the institutional owners, they're selling, kind of selling, and then they're really selling here, and then they buy. Look at the institutional purchases for institutional ownership on in Q1 of this year. So huge, a lot of ownership, just insane. So much. Hey, thank you for the support, Creepin'. I appreciate it. I'm definitely trying. Tonight is not my best night, but you know what? We're gonna make it happen. Nicolopoulos, what's up, my friend? I appreciate the support. Yeah, guys, if you guys are new here, we have a good time here. Usually I'm a lot more energetic, doing a lot better. I don't know. It's all right. We're doing good. We're doing fine. But consider subscribing. We're going to have a good time. We're going to cover this stuff. Next week on Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to try to be live all day. So put me on in the background. Come hang out with me. I'm going to try to be live all day, because I think that those might be the biggest days, the best days. So I'm going to try to hop on and give some coverage at that time. So I'll need some support, because I'm not usually on in the mornings. This is a great point. That is, I don't think enough people talk about this. From Jay Shmee. If it is free, if anything you're using is free, you are the product, and that is a great thing to know. It's so important for you to recognize that, because especially if you're a little younger or anything, if anything is free, you're the product. Whether they're not stealing, if they're taking your information, anything like that. Like think Facebook, you're the product. They're advertising to you. They're taking your information. They're selling you something. They're convincing you to do something. It's pretty scary what people are able to do. Watcher says, what do you think the AMC ultimate price will be? That's a hard question to answer. No one knows what it's going to be. Everyone wants 1,000. I'd be happy with 100. I'm a simple man, And remember, I'm not going to accept any less than, like I said, like $30, maybe $40, because that's, I do anticipate that the stock is going to go that high by the end of the year. I think it's going to go that high by the end of the year, so I'm not going to settle for anything less than that. Personally, not worth it to me. Not worth it. How do we not mess this up with AMC? What's up, Matt? Easy. Hold. That's the best thing you could do is hold, buy the dips. And keep in mind, this isn't financial advice. This is my personal opinion. But if you want to know my opinion, which it seems like you did, that's what I would recommend. Now, I always say it. Continue, take care of yourself, feed your family, pay your bills. You're number one. But if you're good, no problem. My personal opinion is going to be to hold. Thoughts on Roblox? Roblox, okay, so I haven't done all my research on Roblox. I'm trying to make a video. I did have a poll come out. If you're on the channel, please be sure to vote in the poll. If you go click on my channel, I think you go to community. You should be able to vote in the poll. There are some stocks that are kind of pulling ahead, and so I'm going to cover those stocks. I just need to do a little more research. I don't want to come out with some like half done video, and I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys good content, good video. But thoughts on Roblox is I said this before. I don't like IPOs. IPOs are extremely volatile in my experience. So for me, it's almost like a chase, and then you chase the stock, and then it plummets, and then it, for me, I like to let it kind of settle and season a little bit before jumping in. Roblox is actually pretty interesting. It's kind of like, I know it's not, don't hurt me for saying this, but kind of like Minecraft in a sense, has a lot of playability. It's a little hard for me though, because that's not my kind of like genre of game I like to play. I like to play, like Halo or some kind of first person, Valorant I'm into, first person shooter, even WoW and stuff. I'm more into those kinds of games. But even in WoW, I just like to do the PvP. I don't like to do the PvE and stuff. But my little cousin, man, he'll play Minecraft for hours and hours and hours. I know that playability is just there's so much that you can do, and then their structure is great. I think it's a great idea, and it seems like as long as they continue to innovate, then I think it could be a great stock. And Wall Street Bets and all these, a lot of people are behind it. So I think it could be a great investment. I think it could. So as long as it continues that momentum and people like hold and continue to buy it, but it's pretty impressive. Huios, I appreciate that so much. I hopefully I'll have super chat soon, so I can so this chat will be just a little more structured. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to just cover, as much as I can, get to everybody. I just appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody's support. I just can't express it. It's kind of weird, but I don't want to get too crazy, but I appreciate everybody. So Monday Jordan says, so Monday, are we opening up with people slamming $1,400, or is it going to be slow buys? You know what? That's a great point, guys. Next week is going to be nuts. It's going to be so insane, okay? Stimulus checks may be coming as early as this weekend from an article I read, if that's true. And I don't know. GameStop, AMC is I'm sure is going to be crazy with these stimulus checks, okay? People are going to want to hop on, and you know what? Now is probably the time. Well, I guess the time was at $5 to jump in, but man, if there was a second time with the stimulus checks, this week is the week. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. people are saying GME will be the biggest transfer of wealth in history. Wow, I haven't heard that one, but you know what? It's true. I mean, think about all these people that are going to be making millions. I mean, we see it all the time. Like, people are going to make millions off of this. If GameStop goes to, I'm not GameStop, AMC goes, I don't know how AMC needs to go. I haven't really done the math, but if it goes to like maybe $100, I think I'll be a millionaire, which is crazy to think about. So, I'm excited, man. That could be huge. Watch, I think it's supposed to be GME rise pre-market and dip rise. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal, guys. We have to remember, if next week really is the final week for these guys, for these hedge funds, and it might not be, so just be, prepared. We're going to take it day by day. I'm going to be with you guys every single step of the way. Make sure you're subscribed so you're not missing out, okay? Because I'm going to bring you all the content that I have, every single piece of information that I can. I'm going to be following it super closely, especially next week, because I know it's a big deal. And so we just need to be ready for that. There could be a lot of volatility. These guys are going to try to scare us out of our positions. They could run, and what we need to be ready for is they could allow it to run. Let's say AMC, for example, they could let it run to $30-$40, and then hoping that we all sell, and at the end of the week when they have to cover, that it will be $10 again or $5. So in my opinion, I think it would be best if everyone held until Friday, whenever they had to close, Friday at close, or even Monday morning, because whenever they have to purchase it, I remember it was at the end of by the end of the day. Now, I don't know if they have to start. I don't know the exact rules if they have to start purchasing in the morning or something like that. But next week is their day, is their week, allegedly, and so. I think there's something there, okay? I can't say 100%, but man, I'm very convicted in that. I'm very convicted in that. Okay, I got you too. Let's play this video at 2 minutes, 25 seconds and look at the price for, okay, the ask price. 225. Oh, the 100 shares. What time is this at? 3:12, 15:20 after hours. Yeah. Are you saying like the 100s? Is that what you're saying? Annie, you have the life savings in AMC to the moon. Here's the deal. First, I will say don't do that. But Annie, I personally, if there was ever a time that I would have put my life savings, which I'm not going to lie, I did, in a company, it was going to be AMC. Personally, don't do this, because in my eyes, there's only one way this stock can go. They're not going bankrupt. The economy's opening, and it's... you got to let me know how that turns out for you, my friend, because I think it's going to turn out well for you, my friend. I really hope it does. Oh, Michael, my friend, I'm sorry to hear that. We're coming for you, though. Michael got 14 GME at 400. Wait. Oh, 14 GME. Oh, I thought you got 14 GME at $491. I thought you got it at the extreme very top on January 27th or 28th or whatever that was. Oh, I was so nervous for you, my friend. Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, is this what you're talking about right here? Two, you're talking about these 100s like that? I ask. Oh my gosh! Wait, what? This 30,000? Is that what you're talking about? Why is this 30,000? Yeah, I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on here, guys. This is some crazy stuff. Jeez. All right. Well, while I wait for a response, hey, thank you all so much for joining. I know I've been saying this a lot. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm 10 subscribers away from 1,800, which would be a great. That'd be great. So if anybody's considering subscribing, here's it. If you don't want to subscribe, no problem at all. I'm on here basically. Well, I am on here every day. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream this weekend. So we'll see, but I might take it off because next week is going to be crazy. I'm going to go super hard next week, but consider subscribing, guys. I would love to have everyone continue to come back. I'm going to need that support. Remember, Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to need you guys to help me out, give me some visibility so I can get even more people, because that'll be huge. Yeah. I don't know why this jumped up to 30,000. Look how this jumped up to 30,000, guys. You guys see that? There's some weird stuff happening here. And I wonder if this is the ask. So remember, people, that might be somebody's like limit order or something like that. Or not limit order, but sell limit at 30,000. See 1,000s and stuff here. So this is pretty huge. I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on here. And if this continues to ride up, and you know what this actually shows me? This shows me that this might actually be. Let's say these all get filled up, right? All of these buys and stuff, if everything gets filled and there's nowhere else to go, you know where it's going to go? It's going to go to that 1,000. And that, I think, is where a lot of this money could come in. A lot of this money, you guys say, is 1,000 even possible? This, to me, right here shows me that, yes, this could be possible. That's actually pretty good footage. Thank you for sharing that, man. That's pretty crazy. Man. And you may want to consider, I don't know if this is Webull, but I think Webull has a new version. I personally, I like this version a lot. It's so nice. I think it's newer, but consider upgrading. I don't know what the difference is, or maybe yours is more advanced or something, but cool stuff. Oh, I clicked something. Don't open it. Awesome. Let's take a look at a few stocks. Actually, I know I had someone. What do you want to see? AMC. Well, we don't have that one for AMC. Let's see if we have anything crazy looking on AMC. No, $18 over here. So and if this is someone's sell limit or something, $18. You're willing to settle for $18? I'm not willing to settle for $15 or $18. I'm not willing to settle for either. Oh, the browser version of Webull. I got you. Okay. No worries. Yeah, once again, I had a request at the beginning. Well, I don't know if that person's still here. Yeah, let's take a few requests real quick. Okay. So let's look at Genius Brands. So Genius Brands. So for those of you who don't know what they do, Genius Brands International is a United States-based brand management company. The company provides entertaining and enriching content and products with a purpose for toddlers to tweens. The company produces original content and licenses the rights to content to a range of partners. The licensees include companies to which the audiovisual rights are licensed for exhibition in various formats, such as paid television, free or broadcast television, video on demand, subscription on demand, and digital video discs, compact discs, and companies that develop and distribute products based on its content with its content based on its content with different product categories such as toys, electronics, publishing, home goods, stationery, and gifts. The company owns a portfolio of original children's entertainment that is targeted at toddlers and teens, including Baby Genius, Warren Buffett's Secret Millionaires Club, Thomas Edison's Secret Lab, and Stan Lee's Mighty Seven. So, super interesting stuff. And you know what? You know what I love? My favorite part is the kids stuff. All this kids stuff. You know why? Because you guys know what problem. Let me see if this pulls up. Baby Shark. You guys know how many plays Baby Shark has? 8 billion views. Over 8 billion views. You know why it has over 8 billion views? Have you ever hung out with a kid that is of any age below 10 or 5 or whatever? I don't really know when they stop. Yo, these guys will flipping watch this stuff over and over. I remember I was visiting my I live in Texas, and my nephew my nephews and my niece live in Florida. And I went there. You know how many times I watched that Baby Boss movie? I probably in the course of 3 days, we probably watched it 10 times. And holy smokes! And what sucks is I tried to trick them, because I like Zootopia, and they just want to watch Baby Boss or Boss Baby, whatever it's called. They were calling it the wrong name, and they got me saying the wrong name. I can't even remember what the right one is now. I think it's Boss Baby, and they call it Baby Boss. So they had me watching Boss Baby that many times. I was so sick of it. I tried to trick them and put in Zootopia, but they knew that it wasn't Zootopia, and they wanted Boss Baby. So, anyways. These kids will watch the same thing over and over again. They don't care. They don't care. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But this is the kind of stuff I like, because there's a lot of monetization to be had, and these kinds of things. You know, kids love just this kid stuff. It's insane. Insane. Let's take a look at a few other things. Financials, let's see how they're profiting. We'll look at it annually. So annually, gross profit. Hey, they're turning a profit. Hey, good job. Granted, this was fiscal year, so 2019. How did they do during the pandemic? A little rough during the pandemic. How were they doing quarterly previously? Yeah, it was a little rough during the pandemic. Hopefully they recover from this, but not too bad. One of my favorite things to look at is institutional ownership, and this is kind of low actually. I don't know how much I like this. Granted, this was a while ago. Let's see if we can find the Genius institutional ownership. This is one of the big things I like to look at, because these hedge funds, these big institutional owners. Not necessarily hedge funds, but these institutional owners, they're not dumb. They put their money usually in good bets, unless they get super greedy, like we've seen. But so something to keep in mind there. But any news, penny stocks? Just look at the chart, see what we got going on. How are they doing over the 1 year? Oh my gosh, that a huge run up. What was this? A squeeze? Jeez. This may have actually been a squeeze. I don't know. But that's pretty insane. Yeah, that's a crazy run up. Wow. Kind of trading flat. You know, let's look at them at the 3 months, or let's look at the 1 month. Okay, so coming up a little bit. Interesting little setup here. It looks like they may have broken out of a descending this level of resistance. Let me go ahead and grab this trend line here. And we'll put that right here. So yeah, hey, this is looking pretty good. This might actually be a good little spot to buy in if you're bullish on the stock and you want to buy it. Personally, I don't know if I'll be buying into this stock. There's so many other stocks that I really would love to get into before I hop into other stocks. But hey, could be good for you if you're bullish on it. Maybe you know something I don't, but that's what I got. Let's see what else we have here. No. I'm not saying Baby Shark is owned by Genius. I was giving an example of the. Sorry for any confusion. I don't think they're owned by they're owned by Genius. But what I do like is how they were talking about how they do their licensing and all this stuff for TV and all these other things. There's a lot of money in that kind of industry, especially anything with like toys, electronics publishing, like any kind of kids stuff, anything like that. So much money to be had in there with their, especially like the Stan Lee's Mighty Seven. Remember, superheroes are huge now. If they're capitalizing on, I assume this is like a TV show, this Stan Lee children entertainment that is targeted to toddlers and teens. Yeah, Right there. That's the sentence right there. The company owns a portfolio of children's entertainment that is targeted towards toddlers and teens. Toddlers right there, psh, money. That's money, 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 money. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger is involved in Genius for marketing. Wow. Yeah. See, so there you go. Could be some really good stuff. Search for this person, Navinder Sorrow. I don't know who that is. I'll pull this up here. Net worth. I don't know who this person is. What do you want me to do with this person? What happened to him? He traded from his bedroom. Okay, okay. Well, I can probably bring this down here. This is safe. What happened to him? So this person, Navinder Sarao, who traded from a bedroom in his parents' West London home, was arrested. Oh my! Oh, he pleaded it illegally manipulating the stock with trades that led to one of the most dramatic crashes in history. Yikes! I wonder what he traded in. He was allowed to return to the UK before sentencing. What? Oh, he's been helping authorities catch other market fraudsters. Ooh, that's interesting. So, oh, that's very interesting. Dang. Very interesting. Oh, crap, I'm losing people. Oh, okay. Shmi thinks CIDM is going to go on a run. Let's see what's going on with CIDM. Oh, Cinedigm. Why do I know Cinedigm? Cinedigm Corp is a distributor and aggregator of independent movie. Okay, so they're the movie people. Oh, interesting. I wonder, you know, I would love to do some research on Cinedigm because I'm wondering what 4.98 institutional investors. So not my favorite, but you know what? I do like movies right now. I feel like a lot of people are missing out. Anything travel. So you know what? I'm gonna give you guys this one for free. Another stock that I'm super into is Trivago. Man, Trivago. I was looking at it. Man, I was looking at it around here, around the $2.30 mark, and I slept on it. And I shouldn't have slept on it. Well, I just bought more into AMC, so I'm not really too upset about it. But this I do like this because Trivago, we've heard of them. They're like kind of hotels.com and all this stuff where they do the traveling. So this could be pretty huge. This, I anticipate, is going to continue to go up. Just as everything starts to open, people want to travel. Imagine being cooped up for this whole time. I've been cooped up. I can't wait to travel. I just want to go. And so I think that this is going to be so huge for them. So huge for Trivago, for sure. So this is a stock that I do like. I'll put it this way: if I had money, I would buy into Trivago. If I wasn't so bullish on AMC, I might. If I had money, I'd probably buy more AMC or maybe even GameStop. But I do like Trivago. Read more about what he did. Oh gosh, I think I closed him, my friend. Why don't you tell me what he did? Just send me the article or something. What do you want to see? He's working. Let's see. This guy has me, or just two. I need some assistance, my friend. Please. Lewis, you know, here's the deal, man. I appreciate your opinion. You know, I do not have a glass ball saying AMC is going to go. So, sorry. So, just so everybody knows, Luis Reyes says AMC, the most I could say it will go to is $16. But then in the Middle East, the year is going up to at least 100. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? You know, I do really believe that it's gonna go up a lot. A lot of these stocks are going to all-time highs, guys. They're going to all-time highs, and these all-time highs are are good. Villager, this is a good question, and this is a hard one to answer. What is a good price to get into AMC now? So, here's the deal. We could look at the chart, and I could say, hey, like, looking at the chart, we could see that a good place to get into AMC is going to be this amount, blah, 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 and give you like a time. But you know what? If you're bullish on AMC, if you feel like, oh, man, it really did go up a lot. So this is what, I forgot who was telling me about this just now, but it kind of just skyrocketed. This is actually a good sign. I like this, how it went up at the end like that. But something to keep in mind is, for me personally, if you want to buy in, I'd buy in. Now, there are indicators that you can look at, like, this is super high, but you don't know what's going to drop. Like, for all you knew, it's going to keep running. So it's kind of hard to tell. Typically, however, there is a retracement. We can see, with every green run, there's, a little red one, green, red. And so keeping that in mind. But, at the end of the day, if you want to buy into AMC, would you rather buy in at, let's say tomorrow it goes to 11.20, you buy at 11.20, and then it dips to I don't know, $10. Okay, let's say it goes all the way down to $10. You bought it at 11.20, and now okay, you got in a little early and you lost a little bit of money off the top. Fine, but what if it didn't stop at 11.20 and just ran all the way to $20? Now what? Now you just missed out on your buying opportunity. And what are you going to do? Buying it at $20, or you're going to wait for it to possibly trace back to $15? So you have to kind of pick your battles. I think if you're bullish on AMC, if it does run to $50 eventually, I don't think you're going to care that you bought in at 11.16 or 11.20 and it dropped to $10 and then it ran to 50 or whatever it's going to run to. So I'm not too worried about the specific buy-ins. If you think that, if you like the stock, if you think it's going to run up, then I wouldn't miss your opportunity. I would not miss your opportunity. So let's see. Is GME a buy at this point, or should I wait for a pullback? It's a little bit tricky. GameStop is it actually looks like it's a pretty good spot for a buy, honestly, especially compared to what it's been trading at. A lot of the day it looks like it was trading around 275. So in 275, 280, a little run up to 295. So this looks like a pretty good spot if you want to get in. It does look like it, on the RSI, Relative Strength Index, anything over 70 is overbought, and it does look like it's overbought. So it might dip a little bit in the morning, or you know what, it might keep creeping up. If you take a look at all the mornings for the past week, they've all been in an upward trend. Every single morning has been in an upward trend for GameStop. So keep that in mind. You might be missing out your position. Howdy, man. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I actually had some tendies tonight. I actually really did, from Chick-fil-A. Yeah, Rocky, I agree. Rocky says he feels like AMC and GameStop are real stocks now and very bullish for even the long term. Yeah, especially AMC. GameStop, I'm a little nervous about GameStop. Does anyone know where I can, like, what they're actually going to do whenever they're done? I know they're going to try to transition to, like, online, but does anyone have any concrete, like, proof, or are they just going to try to sell products online? I'm so curious as to what they're going to try to do, because I'm worried that they're not going to transition into something good. AMC, it's not that they're, they have been going down for the past 5 years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I think they have a real opportunity now to seize what's going on, and hopefully they can make the right moves to be a really good business, but it might be a little bit tricky. Matt, I do mean Monday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow the market is closed. I appreciate the correction there, my friend. I appreciate the support as well. I love seeing you here, man. Parabolic. Are you in TRCH for the Metamaterials merger? I'm not in TRCH. I'm in very few companies. I'm in like Senseonics. I'm in Mavis. I'm in AMC, of course. I have to check the other companies I'm in, but yeah. So not too many companies. AMC is a real stock. The hedges are just trying to call it a penny stock. Right. Yeah. They're wrong, and we know they're wrong. We don't have to be super crazy rocket scientists to know that it's good. Matt says GME's in a good spot. GME does look like it's in a pretty good spot. If you're bullish on that stock, ready to buy in, I bet you probably wish you would have bought it at $50. But you know, here's it. If you think it's going to go to 1,000, what's 250 versus 264? You know what I mean? Then, you know, your call. How many shares? Okay, I'm gonna answer just probably a few more questions here, and I'm gonna be logging off. I appreciate everybody's support. Please consider liking the video. We're at 64 likes, so nice and round. I'm like 6 subscribers away from 1,800, and that'd be so awesome. What a way to go in the weekend, you know. So I'm so close to that number. So if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, if you do like the content, I don't want to force anyone to subscribe, but if you would, that'd be so great. I don't want you guys to miss anything. We had a lot going on. Also, don't forget to go to my YouTube page and then click on the community tab and vote for the favorite stock that you want to see. Okay, those are the stocks. The highest votes are the ones I'm going to be making videos on. Not necessarily in the order, because I do have to do a little more research, but those are my top stocks that I'm gonna be making videos on. Actually, I am going to try to do it in the order of their rank. So make sure you're voting for your favorite. How many shares actually expired in the money today? Okay, I'm not sure which stock you're talking about, but I'm going to assume, we'll take a look at, I'm assuming it's Gamestop or AMC. Let's start with Gamestop, and we'll take a look. Now, I haven't done the math on these, but they did expire. You know, there's a bunch in here. Now, granted, while all of the options aren't so close, like AMC, it does look like there's a good amount. In my opinion, I think there's probably more AMC options that expired in the money than GameStop. And let's take a look here at the AMC calls that expired in the money. Keep in mind, one option right here is 100 shares. So this is this 22,000 call options is 2.2 million shares that expired in the money that need to be purchased. So with that being said, yeah, so here you can see 2.2 million, 2.7 million, 1.5 million, 1.6 million. And these are all added up. All of these numbers added up. So we did miss this big 2.1 million here at the $12 strike price, but I still feel good about what happened. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And guys, this is just a taste. So here, let's look at this $10 strike price, right? $10 strike price for this week, 2.7 million shares that need to be purchased. Let's look at next week. So 2.7 million shares. Next week at $10, 4.5 million shares. That's more than double the amount of shares that would need to be purchased. And I only see this number going up as this continues to happen, because more people next week, they're going to be like, oh, this is our week. I got my stimulus check. They're going to continue to buy these options. They're going to continue to buy the shares, and they're going to continue to put money in these stocks. And on top of the quadruple witching, next week, I probably should have taken the whole week off and just streamed every single day, because it's going to be crazy in anticipation of what's going on. Maybe I'll stream the last 3 days. We'll have to see. We will have to see, because wow is what I'll say. Big wow. Much wow. Matt, that's a good point. He said overvalued for sure, and I'm assuming this is about GameStop. Overvalued for sure, but their new majority ownership and CEO is legit. Yeah, I think they got a new CFO. I mean, I think it's going to be good. You know, I think they are optimistic about the future, and I hope that they capitalize on everything that's been going on with them, all the momentum, and hopefully that will help them to come out on the other side very good. You know, we can't. Here's the deal, and keep in mind, you know, while GameStop is kind of was possibly a dying business or whatever it is. Hopefully they transition to something good. But, you know, people want to talk about stock valuations. And granted, there's a fair stock valuation for all stocks with their market cap and all this stuff. But an example I absolutely love is Chipotle. So looking at Chipotle price per share is $1,453. This is more than Tesla. And keep that in mind. These guys are, they're freaking insane. Over the 1 year, look, over 1 year, they've gone, and this is whenever COVID was first starting, March 18th right here. So 455, they've gone up $1,000 this year. Insane. Granted, $1,000, it's about 3 times 300%, which is still incredible for the year. So, I mean, guys, you know, anything is really possible with these stocks. One of my favorite things about AMC is, again, these stocks, you know, they're at a specific price for a good reason, I'm sure. But, you know, IMAX is trading at $23, Cinemark at $24, and AMC at $11. You know, if AMC catches up, we're going to be at a good place. And I do anticipate them surpassing these stocks this year. And these stocks are going to go up. So maybe they'll pass it. AMC being more volatile, having a lot more momentum behind it. But let's take a look at this. AMC's trading volume for the day was 111 million. Cinemark was to 3 million. So as you can see, there's a lot of momentum behind these stocks. Oh, Kimber, you did the math. I appreciate it. Looks like just over 9 million shares expired in the money in AMC, which is great. That's awesome. Do you know when they officially approve the merger coming this week? For GME, who's merging? Oh, this might be for your other company. Oh, if GameStop buys AMC and turns theaters into giant gaming, that would be insane. That'd be so awesome. Yep, a lot of stimulus is going. Oh gosh, a lot of stimulus into Dogecoin. Oh boy, I'm a little weary about Dogecoin. I think I'm gonna make a video on that because I'm just a little scared. I hope it works out. I truly do, but I'm weary. I did the math earlier, and my end result was a little over 10 million. I'm not sure, 10 million shares. Okay, so I think we can all agree over 9 million shares, which is great, not too bad. But instantly, we can 100% see that that's going to be blown out of the water with this one. I mean, doing some quick math, this is, let's see, 2.2 million, 2.7 million. Let's just add these in. So let's do 2.3. So this is 5 million here. Instantly, you know. 6, 7 million or 8 million, and then adding these. I mean, we're pretty quickly just getting these up here, especially if we expire anywhere down here in the money. It could just be, this is the wrong month. Dang it. Okay, instantly we're just higher. I mean, it's just crazy. So yeah, it could be insane next week. So. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I appreciate everyone joining. I appreciate all the support. I don't know if I'm gonna be here over the weekend. Maybe I'll release a video. Hard to tell. I'll have to see what my schedule looks like. But well, I'm gonna be at home quarantine, but I'll have to see if I have to hang out. I'll probably hang out with my fiance or something. So, but we will see. I appreciate everybody. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like or even subscribing on your way out, I would love to see you next time. We've been streaming pretty steadily, so every day at 7:30 Central. So I'd love to see everyone here next time. And yeah, that's it. I appreciate everyone again. Have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.